Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to season 3, episode 15 of the Prosperous Yogini podcast. Now, before I dive into today's podcast, here is how you can support me further. You will notice there are some ads on my podcast. Yes, I've hit a point where my podcast is monetized. I'll be honest, I don't make a lot of money from advertising on my podcast, but the more people who download and listen to my podcast, the more money I will make. So you can support me for free. Here's the energy exchange. You're going to listen to all the magic in these podcasts. And I am asking this from you guys. Please subscribe to the podcast. Please leave a review. And really importantly, tell all your friends. I like to say season 1 is for the yoga teachers. Season 2 and beyond is for all female founders, female soul-led entrepreneurs here to do what lights them up and make money. Now, if you would like to work with me closely, a little bit more closely than just this free stuff, I would absolutely love that too. And you can start out by joining my Energy, Mindset, Money and More on Substack for £4.40 a month. It's the cost of a takeaway coffee. It's another way that you can support the podcast. If you love the podcast and you're like, Amy, I've listened to you for years now. You've made a huge difference to me, my business, my life. Like, sign up to my podcast. Sign up to my Substack. Buy me a coffee a month. It's £4.40, and you get weekly audios and videos in there too. If you'd like to work with me even further, then you have a few options. As a business strategist and business mentor, you can work with me one-to-one. I have a 4-week program and a 6-week program. Get in touch to inquire about current availability there. Keep your eyes peeled for when the doors next open to my Momentum Frequency, which is my 12-month coaching program. If I make a difference to you, if you like listening to this podcast, you're like, listen to the podcast, Amy, and the advice in here is just golden, your voice activates me into action, then you really need to be in my Momentum Frequency. It's largely driven through audios, weekly Q&As, voice note coaching, audios trainings. It's not just audio. We meet once a quarter for our review and reset masterclass. And then every now and again, there's the odd extra masterclass. For example, in March, my human design coach, Paul Finney, is coming in and running his Business by Design human design session. Like, it is the place to be. It certainly is the place to be if you like, you know, you want to work with me. You know, you can't do this alone. You go and have a look at my one-to-one offers, at my mastermind, and you'd love it, but perhaps it's a little bit out of your price range, or also it's a big time commitment, then the Momentum Frequency is where you need to be. Mastermind, you can add your name to the wait list there, my darling. That is happening again. It will happen every year. My Your Purpose Mastermind is, do you like to, if I do say so myself, the best thing I do. The doors for the next cohort were open towards the end of this year, and we'll be restarting in 2027. Then that is going to be the new pattern with that mastermind. It's a once a year opportunity, my darling. So next time it comes around, don't miss out on that. And then I have a few shorter digital courses. And then if it's yoga teacher training, high quality, trusted yoga teacher training that you are looking for, head over to amyyoga.com. The specialist training courses, pregnancy, postnatal, toddler, yin and restorative, aren't just for yoga teachers. In fact, I have a lot of massage therapists, sound healers, breathwork coaches, life coaches, business coaches take both the yin and restorative training courses and integrate that into their offers. Regulation, I don't need to sell this to you guys, but learning to regulate our own energy, learning to regulate our energy systems, nervous systems, supporting others to do the same, however you are working with the human body, is an essential part of that. Okay, shall we get on to today's episode? The pros and cons of being soul-led. I like this topic. It's a catchy title, much catchier than last episode, but I've got my soul-led success formula about to start on the 30th of January. So if you listen to this episode before the 30th of January, The Soul-Led Success Formula is one of my shorter, I've got 2 short 4-week programs, Soul-Led Success Formula and Ideas to Action Manifesting. And I'm just about to start the Soul-Led Success Formula. And it has got me reflecting on what it means to be soul-led. I use that word, soul-led entrepreneur, soul-led business owner. And if you head over to amyjonesmentor.com, like that word soul-led is all over my website. But what does it mean, and what are the pros and cons of it? To be soul-led is to be creating a business that comes from your soul, right? But what does that mean? Comes from your heart. You are being called to, you are being activated. It feels like a calling. Your soul is guiding you to do it. And we, I don't want to gender stereotype here or anything like this. You can find women that don't necessarily have a soul-led business, men that have soul-led businesses, but generally speaking, women are driven by their purpose, driven by innate desire to use their skills, gifts, and experiences to support and help others. That is soul-led. So you see, commonly women with soul-led business, soul-led service-based businesses, sharing what they know with others, sharing what they know with the collective, sharing what they know to offer people support, help, and transformation. And I have that. Both of my businesses are soul-led businesses, and I've been a yoga teacher, yoga trainer. Amy Yoga is like 17 years old. That's crazy. And I'm also a business mentor and business strategist. And both my businesses, I am sharing my skill set, my knowledge, my experience. I do it because I care. I do it because I want to use those gifts, those skills, those knowledge I have to help others. I would say, like, if I have to drill down, if I have to do one of those elevator pitches, right? If I had to drill down, like, both Amy Yoga and my business strategist and business mentor business have the same overarching purpose, which is definitely my soul purpose, what my dharma, what I came here to do, which is to help women create ways of working that lights them up and helps them create more time, money, and joy. I've lost count. I mean, I have lost count. It is into the hundreds, well over 100, 100 plus yoga teachers that I've worked with, and actually out, not just necessarily dedicated yoga teachers, I say wellness professionals, body workers, taken my training courses. Like, there's over 700 people on my teachable school, right? I can give you that data for sure. These people that have taken my yoga training courses and use them to start businesses and grow existing businesses, that is what I'm here for. That is 100% what I'm here for. So I feel like I can talk confidently on the pros and the cons, because on the surface, when we talk about soul-led business, sharing our passion, sharing our purpose, it's like, that sounds dreamy. Like, and I do want to acknowledge how lucky I am that this is my job, how lucky I am that this is the way I work, and life circumstances and opportunities up until this point have enabled me to create a way of working like this. I do want to really acknowledge that. But it is not all unicorns and rainbows. So the definite pros are, we are doing something that we care about. Like, honestly, I laugh when I say this is my job and it's work, because work rarely feels like work to me, particularly when I'm in a delivery mode, when I'm recording my podcast, when I'm delivering a training, when I'm working with one-to-one clients, when I'm having a business retreat day as part of my mastermind, when I'm dropping an audio into the momentum frequency. None of that really feels like work. Okay, maybe when I'm going through my emails or doing a tax return, or sometimes that does feel like work. There's jobs that I procrastinate on, but never when I'm in delivery, when I'm fully in my soul's purpose. when I'm fully in service, like it never feels like work. So, you know, when we have a way of working that feels like it's soul led, that is soul led, it doesn't feel like we're working, which is great, right? And we care so much. And the clients that we work with feel that care, feel that connection. And that care and connection often drives communities. So if I cast my gaze back to when I was only Amy Yoga and I had the studio over in St Agnes, there was a community around that studio. We felt that connection, particularly like the vinyasa classes. Like I had a Saturday morning vinyasa class. Like I was blessed, like 15 plus people came every week. We, over several years, we all got to know each other. That class felt like a micro community. Many of the mums that did pregnancy yoga, mum and baby yoga with me, they're still friends today. I did a post, there was a trend going around where like what were you doing in 2016, and I shared my post and I was teaching mum and baby and pregnancy yoga, and a couple of the mums that was attending those classes got in touch, left messages, and I know they are still in contact with the mums that they did those classes with. So when we're in our purpose, when we're so driven, that energy ripples out and we create communities built around care and connection. We're also really passionate about what we do. So even sometimes when it's not going quite right, like I don't feel like I've quite made the amount of sales I want or whatever, right? I'm like, I know that this is my purpose. I know that this is my dharma. I know that this is my duty, and I'm going to continue to serve and be in it for the long game. And I think like when we're delivering, we're teaching, we're creating from the heart center space, we're creating from a space of love, right? And that is immensely powerful. And in that we put, you know, our purpose and the people we serve, that always comes first. And in a world of AI, in a world of large corporations, right, in a world where you can feel like it's numbers before people, profit before people, I would say that our superpower, guys, is personal brand, and that we care so much. It is always people before profit. But that leads me quite nicely, guys, onto the cons, because I think this is the challenge of being soul-led, of being so caring about being in your purpose. That I've got a one-to-one client who has a very, very, very important purpose. Like, she helps an awful lot of people, but has hit a point where she's energetically completely maxed out, and it's helping a lot of people for free. There are many energy leaks on her time. People dropping her a message here, people dropping her a message there, people dropping her an email, asking her, like, you know, very genuine questions, and her feeling like she's got to deliver on those answers, but she's not being paid for this work. And I've been there too, and like, you know, just have to catch myself. Someone asked me like, oh, Amy, I just want to, how did you do this and how did you do that? And the next thing you know, like, I'm voice noting them and I'm sending a link to this and I'm sending a link to that, and like, you're like, whoa, this is not one of my paying clients here. And having that boundaries, so it is hard to maintain boundaries when we are soul-led, because we want to just literally help everyone. And I do believe you can build out an offer suite where you can fulfill that. I feel like, you know, in terms of the podcast, when I have that moment when, you know, someone wants my help, can't afford it, or someone's like repeatedly asked me questions and hasn't given me any money, right? And I can direct them to my podcast. I feel like, you know what, it's okay that you can't afford this. It's okay that, you know, I'm going to have to put in the energetic boundary in terms of the advice and support I'm giving you here, because there's a whole load of free stuff out there that I've created. And it's the same for this client. So it's just directing people to your free stuff, or even if you don't have much free stuff, to the paid offers should they want to get your help any further. It's really hard because when we're in our purpose, we want to help as many people as possible. But a soul-led business is one led by your soul. And the most important soul in this business is you. You are the golden goose. So if you burn out, if you over deliver and undercharge, which I think most soul-led business owners, me included, we are immensely guilty of. I think if you continually undercharge and over deliver and allow your energy to leak, aka help people respond to people without any boundaries, then even your paying clients, what are the boundaries there? You are the golden goose, and you've got to support your soul to serve. It's self-care. All the stuff we know, right? All the stuff we know, but it is immensely hard to put into practice because we care so much. Not to mention, as women, we've been hardwired to massively over deliver, to shy away from conversations around money, and therefore undercharge grossly, or not even, like, you know, go for the sale. So we are giving someone some advice, giving someone some support, and not having at the end of this conversation, like, if you would like to take this further, here's how we can work together. Okay, so purpose and profit, these are two really interesting topics, because I think for you to be fully in your purpose, you have an absolute duty to be in your profit. So going back to the golden goose analogy, if you have created a business model from a place of wanting to help as many people as possible through your purpose, you are soul-led, right? Yet you have created a business model that is not profitable enough, where the energy exchange is out of balance. You are giving more out than you are receiving back. And not all currencies are cash, guys, but, you know, an important currency is cash if you are a business owner, right? Regardless of the model of your business, that it is absolutely essential for you to create a profitable business model in order for you to continue to be in your purpose. So it is required for you to have a soul-led business. It is required for you to have a model that supports you financially. And that can look like lots of ways. Like maybe you have other streams of income. That's fine. Maybe your purpose, what is leading your soul, maybe it's not even a business. That is fine. Maybe in like the case of my client that I was just talking about, she has two aspects of her business. She has her business, a limited company, and she also has a community interest company, a charity. So if you're like, the people I help, the people I want to help, the people I am, and I got an email actually of a yoga teacher, yoga therapist, you know, again, asking for help. She's not a paying client, saying how, and she has 14 years experience, and she's teaching and delivering on all this stuff, and she's simply not earning enough money, and it's completely unsustainable. But the people she helps that are come from very deprived areas, and you know, she's like, I love to work with you, I'd love to invest with you, but I have no money. In fact, the model I've got right now, I'm barely making ends meet. And of course, the big-hearted human in me wanted to help her for free. Oh my God, absolutely, guys, right? But I remembered that she's not a paying client, and I don't have the capacity. I can't be in my purpose. I can't serve if I'm over delivering. So of course I directed her to the podcast. Of course I gave her a few snippets of advice. And the main advice I gave her was basically, when we are being called to help people from financially challenging backgrounds, right, with our services, you have two choices, right? And none of them are undercharged. Okay, none of them are undercharged and over deliver. That is not an option. You cannot long-term help those people if that is your business model. Yeah, that is the business model that we opt for. Okay, your two choices are this, right? Create a business model where you have an overflow and abundance of time and money, and then you get to decide how you direct your abundance, your overflow of time and money. And let me tell you this is one of the pros of being a soul-led entrepreneur, because we care so deeply, because we're big-hearted humans. You can, damn right, we will direct the excesses of time, money and joy into places and causes and people that we care about. So the first thing is a complete restructure of that business model, where she has a profitable business model, perhaps serving people who can and do want to pay for her services, and then using that to direct her free time, her energies, to help those that can't. An even better one is to set up a community interest company, a CIC, a charity, and use that to access and draw down funding to then go and serve into those areas that you feel passionate about. You can also go and connect and hook up and collaborate with other charities, rather than having to go down the route of a CIC, because the CIC is not for the faint-hearted, right? It is a limited company. It comes with responsibility. It comes with paperwork. And like, it sounds easy, doesn't it? Like, I'll just draw down some funding. You have to apply for that funding, right? So, but it is a very valid option, and a far more valid option than undercharging and over delivering, which is completely unsustainable. And you will hit a point, like that lady had hit a point where she's like, I can't do this anymore. And actually, that I can't do this anymore, I can't do it like this anymore, is a really powerful point. Because if it is in our hearts, if it is driven through love, if it is our sole purpose, when we say, I can't do this anymore, I love myself too much to carry on like this. Oh, it's hard to say, isn't it? I love myself too much to carry on like this, but I am so immensely passionate about doing that. That is a very powerful point, because at that moment, you will reevaluate the energy exchange and hopefully hire someone like me, where we can create that profitable, sustainable business model. Now, I think one of the other cons of being soul-led, of like having a service-based business, where you've not got anything to hide behind, where you haven't got a product to hide behind. Well, I'll tell all of you, show your face on social media, share your voice, use audio, use video, because people energetically just need to see that if they connect with you to buy into your services. Whereas products, it's like, show the image of the product, right? Let me see if I want it. Let me know about the product. Is it something I want, right? So when we have a soul-led business, soul-led service-based business, we very much feel like, you know, we are the product, and we are. This is what we cover in Soul-Led Success Formula, guys, because you are the product. That is so scary, because if I'm the product, think about, like, you're shopping, you're on your favorite, you know, online shop, I don't care what it is, right? And you'll be looking through the products, the items of clothing, and you'll be going yes to that, no to that, right? If, as a service-based soul-led entrepreneur, I am the product in my business, then I have got to, and I put myself on social media, and I put myself on the internet, and I have a website, and I go to networking events, and I put a flyer up, and I do a free taster, whatever, right? However I market myself, the reason why I'm marketing myself and making myself visible is so people can see who I am and how I can help them, and make a judgment as to whether they want me. Right, so I am now opening myself up to rejection, and I am hardwired as a human being to avoid rejection. So it's hard being soul-led service-based entrepreneur, because we can't hide behind the product, and we have to open ourselves up, and it's vulnerable. But this is where, going back to the pro, because we're driven by our purpose, we're driven by what's in our heart. We hit a point after a bit of practice, guys, after being aware that this is the thing, right? We hit a point where, you know, as much as the no's still grate a bit, as much as the ego still is very bruised if, you know, someone goes and picks someone else other than you, right? As much as I experience those things, guys, it doesn't stop me, because I am so clear on my dharma, my purpose. My duty is to help as many people, big-hearted human beings, do what lights them up and make money. And I'm not here to help everyone. I'm here to help my people. I'm here to help those that we're blessed to work with me. I'm here to help those people that will respond to working with me, because the truth is, I'm not for everyone, and not everyone's going to respond to working with me. And actually, I don't want to work with them, because my purpose is to see a world, right, where more money, more time and joy is equally distributed, and certainly in the hands of women, right? And if I was to like work with someone who I don't vibe with, but I don't energetically connect, and I then don't get her the results that she would get if she went and worked with someone that she does energetically connect with, then that is against my purpose, right? So none of us need a cast of thousands to have a profitable business. We need our people, but to find our people, we need to put ourselves out there. So like, one of the cons of being soul-led is opening yourself up to the fear of criticism and rejection, which our primal brain will try very hard to have us avoid. But you get used to the no's, you get used to the rejections, and actually after, and we all have it, you know, where we have, perhaps we have someone come into one of our offers, whatever it is, and we feel the disconnect. We do over time think, actually, yeah, I'd rather not work with that type of person. Not that there's anything wrong with them, this is not a criticism of that person, but we are just an energetic mismatch. And I know I've got these people over here that just absolutely light me up, that allow me to fulfill my purpose. These are the people I want to work with. These are my people. This is everything covered in Soul-Led Success Formula, by the way, guys. If you're like, oh yes, Amy, it's £197. If you hear this before the 30th of January, come on in. I will be running this course again, and you can actually buy it. It's a self-led, self-paced study course, so it's always on sale. But every now and again, I'll do what I call a live round of it, where I guide you through the 5 modules over the course of 4 weeks, with additional audio trainings and extra voice note Q&As. Link is in the bio. And then I think this is something, you know, we all experience over time, that I've got this down as a con, and I don't know whether it's a con or just what, you know, really should I attach anything to this other than navigating the evolution of your soul. So when we talk about soul-led and being in our purpose, and I do believe we all came here for a reason. I do believe we all chose this moment in time to come into physical form. Do believe that. I do believe you came here for a purpose in this moment in time, but I also believe that our purpose will shift, that we are a human being, that in that we are curious and we are creative, and the idea that we came here for one singular reason and that we would stick at that reason for the whole of our life is a lie. The other thing, the idea that we absolutely know what our soul purpose is from day dot, is also a lie. So our soul purpose evolves, we evolve, our soul evolves, and as we navigate the evolution of our soul, what we may find ourselves in, which is definitely the position I found myself in a few years ago, where, you know, going back 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, I would have said my soul purpose was yoga teacher, yoga trainer, and to spread the joy that is yoga through both my teachings and my training courses. That was my purpose. But my purpose evolved from that more into, actually, what I'm feeling is like I'm loving the training, and I'm immensely good at it. My background in education training, you know, is absolutely, I'm an excellent trainer. I'm very happy to say that I've done it my whole working life, right? I can deliver training, create curriculums, you know, education is something I've always done, right? But what really lights my soul up now is the fact that these women that take my training courses then go on and start businesses, and I'm also helping them with their business. I'm also helping them start businesses, grow business, and I am so lit up by this. I'm so lit up by working on this and seeing the evidence of this. My soul was evolving into where I am now, which is, yes, still Amy Yoga still exists, right? But also have a second business mentor, business strategist, amyjonesmentor.com, where I help female founders and female soul-led entrepreneurs do what lights them up and make money. Is this me fully in my purpose? I was like, right now, yes. Right now, yes. Will I be here in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, or will my soul has evolved? I don't know. I'm open to the journey. I'm open to the evolution of that, because when I allow that to be the case, I take the pressure off, like knowing this is my purpose, this is my soul's purpose, this is my soul's path. I take the pressure off that. I take the pressure of needing there to be an end game, needing there to be some secret magic, you know, formula that everyone else knows that I don't, to get me there, right? And instead, I'm on my path of evolution, and I just let it evolve, and I let it evolve from my heart. I trust. It's a faith game. I let it evolve from my heart. I tap in, I tune in to what I'm being called, what I'm being activated to do. Feminine energy, intuition. Then I don't just allow it to exist there in the non-physical. I then take a strategy, get a plan, and take action on that. And then guess what? I learn through doing, I get data through doing, and that feeds back into my purpose, what I'm being called to do. And now I'm just on that infinity loop, that evolving path. And my purpose and my soul evolves as I go through my life. So I would say we're all soul-led entrepreneurs. I would say all the actions you've taken up until this point and where you find yourself right now in your business was your soul's path, is your soul's path, is your soul's calling. I would say if you struggle to market yourself, to sell yourself because of that, then you absolutely need my help, my darling, because we're all missing out by you not sharing your gifts, skills and services with the world. And if you're at a place where you're like, I am being called to do something else, something different, to shift, to navigate a change, and I feel uncomfortable saying it out loud because the identity I've created around myself is going to shift, then you also really need me, because navigating those shifts, navigating the evolution of your soul is, I can't say it's one of my superpowers. I've got many superpowers, as have you, my darling. And a soul-led business is where we share those superpowers, you know, with the world to make the world a better place. And right now, you know, if we could turn on the nightly news, we'd think, why am I bothering? Right? But I do think now more than ever, when we come together in love, when we come together in hope, when we tune inwards, and this is not to dismiss all the, you know, the horrors that are happening in the world, but when I turn inwards and tune inwards and ask myself honestly, how can I call in a different reality? It starts from tapping into what's in my heart, what's in my soul, and letting that lead. And that is a soul-led business. And that isn't easy. And it certainly isn't something I would do alone. So I'd absolutely love to support you. Please do have a look into the show notes for the link to the Soul-Led Success Formula. If you listen to this podcast, and it's, you know, 30th January 2026 was a long time ago, look, you can buy that course as a self-led study course and then just join the next live round. That's fine. And if you'd like to work with me further, all the links to those other offers are in there too. And I will see you in February 2026. Let's see what February brings. I'm trying not to create fear, because we've got to stay in love, but astrologically everyone's like, February is really, really big. I just hope it means that the days are getting lighter. It's Valentine's Day, not that I particularly care about Valentine's Day, but whatever February brings us, let's stay connected to what's in our heart. Let's stay in love, and let's stay in hope, and call in collectively together the world that we want to see. All right, my darlings, I'll see you all in February.